Alright guys, so in this video we are going to identify the names of 13 different rocks. Alright, so we're going to be dealing with igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, sedimentary rocks. And if you remember how to classify those rocks, as we go through these 13 different rocks, trying to pinpoint which ones are igneous, which ones are metamorphic, which ones are sedimentary, that's going to help you guys out a lot when you're trying to identify the names of these. Alright? And hopefully in front, as you're watching this video, you should have this document in front of you where it's the rock key. You have about 25 different steps to follow. Again, some of them you're only gonna have to follow 3 steps before you find out what the rock name is. Some of them you're gonna have to follow like 8 steps, all right? But you should be using this key to help you. And as we go through, I mean, you'll see something like this. Like it'll take you to a number and then it'll tell you what the rock name is, give you a brief description of that rock, what it looks like, what the minerals are inside that rock, how that rock formed, things like that, okay? So kind of a really nice key that's gonna be made there, okay? So you should have that document open. And again, there's gonna be kind of a lot as we go through this video here, so make sure you're pausing if you need to. And I'll try to point out everything that I feel is important that's going to help you be successful here, okay? So here is rock number 1. And again, we're going to be jumping around here, so it's not going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18. So we're going to be jumping around quite a bit here, so make sure you're paying attention to the numbers as we go. So let's take a look here at rock number 1. I'll bring that close. Rock number 1. All right. One thing I noticed right off the bat here, no crystals, right? It just looks like sand and pebbles in there, right? So no crystals, no layers, just kind of a chunk of a rock, okay? I'm also noticing there's no air bubbles. So one thing I know for sure, this cannot be an igneous rock. Right? I don't see crystals. There's no air pockets. It doesn't look glassy. I'm also going to say it's probably not going to be a metamorphic rock because, again, it's not crystal. There's no crystals. There's no layers. And it looks like we have fragments of a bunch of different rocks stuck together, right? And we know that sedimentary rocks are the rocks that form when we have sediment that's compacted together and joined together, okay? One thing I do want to point out here, though, I'm going to get a piece of paper. We'll go back to this rock key right here. If I scrape this, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it. It's going to be tough here. All right, but you can see some pieces there. If I put that in my finger, it feels like sand. All right, so really what I was doing here is I was able to scratch some sand off of this rock. All right, I was able to scratch a little bit of sand. So that's going to help you on this key as well. And then another thing to notice too is you see a bunch of pebbles here. And these pebbles look to be round. All right, they're not, rectangular or angular. They're just round pebbles. All right, so what rock is number 1 going to be? Okay. Number 2. First thing I notice, again, this is a really light colored rock. And you could see the different crystals in here. As I move this around, it's kind of twinkling. All right, so it's crystalline. All right, so we know it's going to probably be either metamorphic or igneous. Well, it probably can't be igneous because all of these crystals look to be the same. All right, there are going to be some igneous rocks where the crystals look to be identical. But in this case, I have an idea, a quick hint. This is going to be a metamorphic rock. It's going to be a metamorphic rock. There's no layers. It's light colored. Let's see if it can scratch glass. I'll try right there. No, it didn't scratch glass. It didn't leave any marks on the glass. And that's because it's made of minerals that are softer than glass, okay? So number 2 cannot scratch glass. What was the name of number 2? Right? Number 3. I'm looking at this. This is a pretty boring rock. Pretty boring, okay? I don't see any crystals. Really, there's no layers here. Just the way this was kind of chipped makes it look like there's layers there, but Really, I'm gonna see if I can get this in focus. It doesn't want to, okay, but really don't be confused. No layers going on here. And it is light colored. There's no bubbles. And if I feel this, it does not feel sandy. Doesn't feel like sand, doesn't feel rough like sand. And then let's try to see if it can scratch glass. Just run one final test here. Was not able to scratch the glass, all right? And again, as I look at this, I know for a fact, okay, I don't see crystals here, no layers. This is gonna be sedimentary. It's gonna be a sedimentary rock, all right? So what type of sedimentary rock is number 3 gonna be? Okay, number 4, this is one of my all-time favorite rocks, all right? I'll get it nice and close here. I know it's kind of tough to see right off the bat. This is probably a better side here, but it does, you can see those crystals in there kind of sparkling as we go. And one thing I notice is it does look like there's layers there. If I move this up, you can kind of see how the dark minerals, I get to this side right here. You can see kind of how some of those dark minerals have lined up with one another, all right, with alternating bands or ribbons. All right, so there's definitely some layering going on here, and it looks like they're lined up in bands or ribbons, okay? Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully the camera's picking that up, the different bands going on there. All right, really cool rock. And again, it's crystalline, and there's layers, so we know this is going to be metamorphic. All right, what type of metamorphic rock is it, though? Okay, that was number 4. Number 5. Let's see. I'm looking at this, and I'm not picking up any crystals here, guys. No visible crystals. There are crystals in there, okay, but they're so stinking small that we can't see them. So I'm gonna go ahead and say no visible crystals for this guy, number 5. Clearly there's gonna be some layers. Let's see if I can get this focused. Yeah, you can see the layers along the sides there, right? Kind of looks like a stack of pancakes going on there, all right? Lots of layering going on there. And if I try to scratch this, I can go ahead. If I can try to scratch some stuff off. All right, it's not really leaving too much, but were I to feel that, it would not feel like sand. So it's not sand coming off here. It's not sand. And then as I look at this, it's the same color all the way around. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it's made of the same mineral. So this rock, I'm gonna say, is made of one mineral. All right, what does that make rock number 5? Okay, number 7. Number 7, I like this rock a lot. Right off the bat, we can be pretty confident these are crystals that we're looking at. All right, but again, the crystals all seem to be kind of placed randomly, in random orders, not very organized, and the crystals are different colors. So I can make the assumption that, yeah, it's crystalline, but it's not gonna be metamorphic because the crystals are all in random places and they're different colors. So this is gonna be an igneous rock. All right, we know number 7's gotta be igneous. I'm not seeing any layers. Like I said before, just seems like a big chunk of rock. And this is gonna be mostly dark colored. All right, blue, we're gonna consider dark. And then you could see the dark black minerals in there as well. So we're just gonna consider this to be dark colored. And these crystals are really large, right? You can see how, you can pretty easily see each of these individual crystals in there. So we would call this coarse-grained, all right? Coarse-grained crystals, that means the crystals are pretty big. Easy for us to see, all right? So what does that make rock number 7? Okay, off to number 9, and then we will take a break. Okay, I don't want this video to be an hour long. On to number 9, okay? I clearly am seeing lots of crystals here, all right? You can see how sparkly it is. Those are crystals. And then as you look at this, it might be hard for you guys to see, but I'm hoping you can see the different layers going on there. You can see those little steps. And that's just how this rock breaks. If I were to take a hammer to this rock, it would break into these layers like that. And I've actually done that before with this type of rock is, you know, take a hammer to it so I can use a big rock to get a bunch of different samples for the class. And these break pretty easily, okay? They break in those layers. All right, so that's gonna be number 9. And again, it looks like these are all the same mineral. And it has layers, so we know this is going to be a metamorphic rock. Our question is, what metamorphic rock is it going to be, though? All right, so that's number 9. Stay tuned for part 2.